This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and Ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has attended the Future Dialogue Sessions on the Dubai Plan 2021, organised by the General Secretariat of the Dubai Executive Council. Work teams discussed 8 main themes in the course of the dialogue, with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed attending part of the session titled A Generation for the Nation, which featured 20 speakers who engaged in debate to set solutions to improve academic performance of Emirati pupils in private schools. On the sidelines of his visit, the ruler of Dubai launched the Mohammed bin Rashid Distinguished Students Program in Dubai to provide opportunities for outstanding Emirati students to join the best private schools in the Emirate and give them access to the best educational services. The initiative will be implemented in the next academic year, 2017-18. The program, according to officials, seeks to combine all the elements of success and excellence through innovative, smart and positive learning methods to build a promising Emirati generation equipped with the skill sets, knowledge and qualifications to further the nation's march of progress and leave their clear imprint on the country's future. His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, member of the Supreme Council and the ruler of Sharjah, highlighted the role of governments in achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals, while also ensuring that human beings are at the core of developmental efforts. During his opening remarks at the 6th edition of International Government Communication Forum in Sharjah, His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan stated that governments should keep the individual at the centre of any developmental effort for it to be sustainable and not the other way around. In his speech, His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan stressed that the true meaning of sustainable development is to care for all members of society, and in Sharjah, the focus has always been on the development of individuals starting from their childhood. While talking about the efforts taken by Sharjah to achieve individual well-being, His Highness spoke about a novel concept of schooling called Parliament of Children, wherein mothers accompany children, setting up a university city for higher education, mobile clinics for the elderly and other social services which aim to put the spotlight on human beings and their happiness. During the forum, Sheikh Sultan bin Ahmed Al Qasimi, the chairman of Sharjah Media Centre, announced the establishment of a new initiative called the International Government Communications Centre, which has an initial 5-year mandate of launching 15 initiatives for enhancing government communications and also serving as a local and global reference point in the field.
Now, a new danger. It's water.
It's important to appreciate that the SDGs are very broad. Now, whilst of course there are certain universal truths and principles that can be applied across the world, what's also very important is we contextualize what the SDGs mean to certain parts of the world. So when we look at them in the context of the Middle East and North Africa, of course we have certain crises that are unfortunately unrolling in this region. There are environmental crises, we've got a humanitarian crisis, we've got a socio-economic crisis underpinned by this youth bulge, which is creating a lot of youth unemployment. So it's important to identify what the SDGs mean to these crises and how we can develop partnerships between government, between the private sector and civil society to go about addressing solutions towards those challenges. I think there's a huge amount of philanthropic capital that's available within the region, that's deployed every year within the region. The IDB estimates anywhere between $200 billion to $1 trillion a year goes between zakat, or mandatory almsgiving, and sadaqah, discretionary almsgiving every year. So how can we channel some of that philanthropic capital towards achieving sustainable goals, I think is a very important part of the equation.
Among the 2,500 world leaders and decision makers attending the IGCF this year were the former US Vice President Al Gore, who spoke about climate change is a threat, how climate change is a threat to peace and order around the world, and also stressed that humanity has to make the right choice for the survival of future generations. The 2-day event will focus on steps taken by world governments to achieve sustainable growth, reduce poverty and wealth gap among many developing countries around the world.
Leadership such as you have of the scientific. Well, I think it is a challenge for government communicators and for civil society in the Emirates and in this region. But it is also a challenge to humanity's moral imagination. This climate crisis is something very different from any crisis we have ever confronted before. It is the most serious manifestation of an underlying collision between human civilization, which has grown rapidly. We now are more than 7.3 billion people. The population of the Earth has quadrupled in less than 100 years. And the technologies we have are far more powerful than what previous generations could have dreamed of.
I think the UAE is really impressive in that the government, in fact, all of the Emirates, are working very hard for good governance, for being in the right direction, for well-being of the people, and for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm very impressed. There's a lot of leadership here, a lot of discussion with the citizens, a lot of decision to move towards greater well-being. I'm very honored to chair a new Global Happiness Council, which is created by the Emirates government to promote happiness as a centerpiece of governance. This is a wonderful initiative.
The UAE Water Aid Foundation, which is also known as Suqiyya, has provided over 7.5 million people with clean drinking water by the end of 2016. Ahead of World Water Day this year, Suqiyya's chairman, His Excellency Saeed Mohammed Al Tayar, stated that the foundation has launched a number of projects and initiatives to provide clean drinking water to underprivileged countries around the world and has provided over 7.5 million people with clean drinking water by the end of 2016 in collaboration with the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Charitable and Humanitarian Foundation. Beneficiary countries included Ghana, Uganda, Somalia, Tajikistan, Mauritania, Mali and Senegal. Wells have also been drilled in Afghanistan, the Philippines, Benin, Bangladesh, Djibouti, Thailand and Burkina Faso during the first quarter of 2017. According to His Excellency Al Tayar, these projects will benefit 121,920 individuals. World Water Day falls on the 22nd of March every year, and Suqiyya, under the umbrella of the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Initiatives, has taken the opportunity to renew its support and commitment to raising awareness among the community about the importance of finding sustainable solutions to drought and water scarcity in underprivileged countries. The foundation also highlighted the role of renewable energy in achieving sustainable development. You may think your house is safe, but with Dubai municipality's latest campaign, you will think twice. Authorities are targeting children in the latest campaign to alert them against the dangers hidden in their own homes. The Public Health and Safety Department of the civic body launched the campaign earlier this year under the slogan, "Is your home safe?" based on the statistics and studies related to domestic accidents. A department representative was quoted in a local report as stating that records available with the department indicate an increase in domestic accidents in recent times due to a lack of awareness about home safety practices, which are not followed by parents, children and maids at home. As part of the campaign, authorities released a video which shows how a distracted mother leaves her son unattended in the kitchen, who is unaware of the hidden dangers that can put his life at risk. According to statistics, the top 5 deadly risks in the home include large furniture, which can topple over and crush small children, unsecured windows, medicine cabinets, which are situated in the reach of children, children mistaking detergent pods for candy or sweets, cables and electrical cords. The Ministry of Health and Prevention has launched a program for early detection of diabetes in 10 primary healthcare centres this year. The program aims to provide early detection for people who are most susceptible to diabetes and determine pre-diabetic cases who, through constant checks, can be monitored and protected from developing diabetes. Commenting on the initiative, Dr. Hussein Abdurrahman Arrand, the Assistant Under Secretary for the Health Centres and Clinic Sector, stressed the importance of the awareness program for the early diagnosis of diabetes, which aims to support and train diabetes patients or those at risk of developing diabetes to take part in preventive health programs. The goal of the program is to examine 10,000 people who are most susceptible to diabetes and to train 90 individuals from the nursing staff to enable them to utilize the awareness course at the Johnson & Johnson Institute to fight diabetes, as well as training 25 doctors in handling diabetes. A new government program is making local organic produce not only more readily available in supermarkets around the country, but also more affordable in comparison with its more expensive imported counterparts. The Ministry of Climate Change and Environment has made a concerted push in recent years to subsidize farming equipment, provide expertise and connect local farmers with supermarkets to help market their products. On Tuesday, Dr. Thani Aziudi, the Minister of Climate Change and Environment, launched a program where local produce will be made available in shops around the country. According to local reports, the minister spoke at the Federal National Council about how his ministry would continue to support the sale of local produce, address the challenges the industry faces, and also added that it will soon sign an agreement with Carrefour to market local fruit and vegetables. Local produce is becoming more prevalent, including zucchinis, cucumbers, tomatoes and eggplants. Dr. Al-Ziyudi said the ministry had investments in other countries and stated that dates are being exported to 45 countries. The growth of organic farmland in the UAE has gone from 2,360 acres in 2009 to 45,890 acres last year. The ministry also provided farming equipment, including tools for organic and hydroponic farming, at half price. And finally, in the bulletin, while Pakistan's Super League offered entertaining matchups at the stadiums of the UAE, cricketing fans can look forward to another festival with the Emirates T20 tournament, which takes place this weekend. At a press conference, players from the participating teams as well as team officials shared their thoughts on the preparations ahead of the exhibition tournament, which will be played at the ICC Academy. The tournament has been popular among cricket fans and families who used to flock over to the Sevens ground on a Friday afternoon to catch the players in action. Lancashire Lightning finished as runners-up last year, and now they enter the tournament as one of the favourites to lift the trophy, with the English paceman James Anderson back in the side. After recovering from a shoulder injury towards the end of last year, the 34-year-old bowler believes he is in good shape for the English summer and the Ashes later in the year. Meanwhile, former England international Paul Collingwood is another player to look out for during the tournament, as the Durham side is looking to pick up their form and make a mark following an unfortunate relegation last year.
Very used to the conditions. I've played here quite a bit. It's very different to English conditions, so it's been useful to have a few days out here with the guys and try and get used to the conditions and know what we're going to come up against later in the week. So we're really looking forward to it. T20 doesn't really, the tactics side of it doesn't vary too much. It's obviously you want to see what sort of opposition you're coming up against, what sort of batsmen you're playing against, and what the bowlers do. So we're trying to get a heads up on that, and look who we're going to face towards the end of the week.
Well, it's a fantastic place to come, certainly from a county cricketer's point of view, to come out here pre-season, get the facilities of playing on grass again. There's only so much you can do in the indoor schools back home in England when the weather's so bad during the winter. So to come out here, get the bodies used to playing again, ready for the season is fantastic. So get the bodies switched on and the mind switched on to competitive cricket again. And amazing facilities out here. The ICC Academy is somewhere that when you arrive there, you just realise what's been put into that place. I mean, the different grass surfaces from around the world, different soils. So be able to practice on English wickets in Dubai, in the sun usually, is very beneficial for all the players involved.
The Emirates T20 kicks off on Thursday morning with the final game scheduled for 6 p.m. on Friday. Tickets are priced at 90 dirhams for general admission per day, with plenty of entertainment lined up for fans and families to meet and interact with the players.
To my surprise, I see lots of Emiratis attending those matches. I mean, now I think, especially in Dubai, You see Dubai being a cosmopolitan country. You see lots of expat plus the UAE national. And last tournament I saw lots of Emiratis coming with families. So this is the objective of this tournament, is to bring people together. And for the best interest of the tournament also, I see lots of things happening. All the best.